One of the most common reasons Linux systems crash or behave unpredictably is due to full disk. Logs stop writing, updates fail, and services can go down. So in this tutorial, we are going to learn how to check disk usage in Linux. And after that, we are going to automate it using a simple Python script. So by the end of this tutorial, you will understand how Linux measures disk usage and how to create a script that will automatically warn you when your disk is getting full. Now, I'm going to show you what we are going to do. First of all, let us issue the command df. Here you can see the available, the file system. You can see the available spaces. This is the root directory that we are going to concentrate on. So we are going to monitor this root directory. And another thing is that, as you can see, this is unreadable to humans. So we are going to make it a bit readable by using this flag. Now you can see the counts. You can see the percentages that have been used, the availability, and so on and so forth. Again, we are going to monitor this. Let's clear the screen and create a file that we are going to use for this. Let me call mine monitor disk.py. Let me open it using Vim. You can use whatever editor you've got. Now we are going to write the shebang, which tells our file to find the Python 3 in the system path. To do that, we use our user bin env, then Python 3, which is the version I'm using. We are going to import some Python utilities that we need for this script. We are going to first of all import the shortio, which is what you use to get disk information. We are going to also import time, which we can use to print like a timestamp in our output. Then we will need a couple of variables here. We are going to use the shortio to get our disk space or disk usage. Now, what we want to concentrate on, like I said earlier, is the main directory, which is this one. If you remember, I showed it to you earlier. Now we are going to create another variable and then use the ones we've already created. Used plus free. We are going to get the 100% of the disk space. We are going to get both used and free spaces. The 100% of it, we divide it by the used space and assign it in this variable called usage. Then we are going to use the if command. If usage is greater or equals to, let's say, 70, then let us open a file with open. We are going to create a new file inside of the temp directory. Let us call it used space, or yeah, we can call it used space.log. So this file does not exist yet, but once we run our script, it's going to create this file inside of this temp directory. As f. Now we are going to use the write function here and use the F to format our output. Here we can also use the time that we imported. See time. Then if something happens, when it crosses the threshold, it's going to send us this alert. Let's say something like you are running out of disk space. Now we are going to print out the usage or the amount of space that is being used. New line. And that's actually all that we needed. Let me save the file. Now let us run this script. We called it monitor disk. This is not going to work, but I'm going to show you something here. When we run this, it tells us that permission is denied. This is because the username or this user who's the user on this very merchant does not have the access right to do this, and I'm going to show you. You see, so this user only has read and write access to this very file. The user has no execute right. We are going to change that using the chmod command. Name of the file. Now let us check it again. As you can see, if you compare both outputs, you are going to see that the user now has the execute right. Another thing to take note of is that the color has changed. Once you change the permission, the color changes. Although you don't need to kind of depend on this, but that is one of the things that you might notice. So let us try and run our script again. Something is wrong somewhere. No such file. Oh, something is missing. Let me open this file again. We need to append the information to this file or the output. Now let me save it again. Let's run it again. Now let us check it to see if we got any output. Remember the file we saved in temp used, I think we called it the file used space. Yeah. So as you can see now, we have overused the space. If you remember the threshold that we set, monitor disk, the threshold is 70%. So if it is above 70%, it's going to send us a lot. So as you can see, it is above 70%. That's why it sent us that alert. Let me issue it again. So it is 79%. Right? we could actually put some kind of a logic to this. Let me open this file again. Now we can add some logic here so that even if everything is all right, it's going to also send us a message. So let's say else, then the logic would be almost the same as what we had earlier. So we can actually just copy this. We can copy this. Then we can make some changes here. We can say something like you are still within the right threshold. So what we can do, now what we could do, let us increase this. Let's set to 90 or 95. Let us test it again by, let's save this first. So let us run our script again. Let's check the file. You see, now the usage is 79, but we are targeting 90 or 95, I think it was. Monitor disk. You see, so if it is greater or equals to 95, it wants us. But if it is anything below that, it gives us this message, right? So that's why it gave us that output. Oh, I meant something else. I meant to run this. You see? So the threshold is it is still at 79% usage. So it is okay. So this is how you can easily automate your disk space monitoring. In our next tutorial, we are going to write automation. We are going to automate it in such a way that this very script is going to run by itself, and instead of us checking it manually. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If so, can I ask you to please subscribe to my channel, to like, and to share. Thank you.